I just want to take a brief moment to thank all of you fans from every team. We are so grateful for you. Without you, none of this would exist. We are so blessed. With the 54th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Chargers select Tuli, Tuipulotu.
Oh, wow. Let's go.
Okay.
All right, Tuli.
The player I didn't watch. Unbelievable. Of course, one of the most productive rushers in this class, but I always considered him more like the DN type. So, did you get a chance to watch him?
Yeah, I like Tuli a lot. So they announced him as a defensive end, not as a linebacker, which they would have done for if he were an outside linebacker. So
interesting.
In terms of like defensive, edge rusher types, I think he can definitely do some edge rusher things. Not the bendiest player. He's more of kind of your initial get off and power rusher. I love his hand usage when he's able to work against outside tackles. Athleticism is a slight concern for me. And again, them announcing him as a defensive end is interesting there. I will also say USC's defense is kind of funny. They would actually stand him up as like a stand-up rusher linebacker, similar to how the Chargers would use Kyle Van Noy at the beginning of the season. So I think this is kind of a pick like, hey, like we're not crazy about where our edge rusher room is right now. We need some pass rush on the interior. Let's take a guy who can maybe cover a bit of the bull spots here. So I left Tuli as an edge rusher, and he was basically my last one available after that run there. So I like the pick. I think this is going to be a productive spot. And, Tom Telesco goes with another Southern California college player here.
I think of the top 150 in this draft, he's the one player I haven't watched.
Oh, no.
Him. This is Josh Palmer all over again, but I can't wait to watch him, man. But thank you for breaking that down. That's awesome. Hey, we got a USC player. I get to watch
Chiefs
USC.
just traded up.
Ooh.
Oh, my gosh. They're going to get Adebawore.
Yes, they probably
I did not like Tuipulotu more than Adebawore for what it's worth, but I like Tuipulotu.
Yeah, but you definitely had him as a different player because you had him at edge and Adebawore. Yeah.
Tuipulotu is definitely more edge than Adebawore is. I'm just sending out a tweet right now.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Cool. I get to actually watch some film and figure out who this person is. I mean, I knew who he was.
I think that's pretty good value. Let me go make sure where I had him at. Yeah, so I had him at edge 11 behind Derek Hall. Derek Hall was okay, so I lied. I guess is Tuipulotu was 86 overall on my board, but I think that's not indicative of where how I actually feel about him.
Okay.
Maybe a bit of a reach, but
yeah. God, I can't believe the one player I didn't watch. I have nothing to offer here. What happened? Here's what I can offer. Okay, 49 pressures, 12 sacks last year, 26 run stops. I can definitely offer you that one. Missed tackle rate. I'm not going to say that one out loud, but 49 pressures, 12 sacks. In terms of alignment, 406 out wide, 102 over the tackle, about 60 A gap, B gap. 4 in the slot and 1 at corner. I don't know where the outside corner rep was, but
Alex Grinch, man, dude is a disaster. He's 20. He's a young guy. Okay, I didn't know that.
Cool. Yeah, he won't be 21 till September.
Man, that's a young player right there. It's a young pup.
I can't believe the player I didn't watch. Amazing.
Yeah. One other thing I do want to point out too, I think if you want to talk about a high energy player too, like there's a ton of chase down tackles from him all over his tape, whether that is as, like I mentioned, when he's lining up as like a stand-up linebacker, whether that's at edge, whether that's at interior defensive line. So I think people are going to really come to like this. I think the value might be a little rich for some people.
Yeah.
But again, like defensive versatility, this is something that they have done a lot of homework on. This is why we talked about Adetomiwa Adebawore last night and today. So they're going to get the same kind of player here with Tuli. I just don't think he has the same kind of ceiling as Adebawore. So more productive college player. He is 20 years old. So there's a lot to like here. I just think people are going to be a little surprised at the reach. Maybe this is their third round reach instead it came out 54.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I didn't even have Tuipulotu on the composite. Oh, I did. Okay. Hey, first and average depth of tackle among
there you go.
All interior defensive linemen.
There you go.
Now, that's how he was ranked on PFF. But
all right, here's the Chiefs pick.
God help me.
NFL legends Ed and Brad Buddy. Can you believe this? First of all, the Buddy family would like to thank the family of the national
father and son both played for the Chiefs. That's crazy.
And also the Hunt family that has allowed my dad and I's dreams to come true. And now the beat goes on for the next generation. The Detroit Lions have traded the 55th pick to the Kansas City Chiefs. With that pick in the 2002-3 draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Rashee Rice, wide receiver, SMU.
Cool. Well, the other player I didn't watch, apparently.
I'm cool with that one, man. I think Rashee Rice, I was not a huge fan there. So Arjun pointing out too, there was a lack of testing for Tuipulotu as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was an injury, so I think he tested this like a couple weeks ago. Didn't test at USC's Pro Day because it was like pouring rain and didn't want to risk injury. So that is something to consider for sure.
So the other question I want to ask, because you've watched him, does Tuipulotu, I don't know if he really does or doesn't, but does he have a role that compares, or at least in terms of college and what he could do, does it compare to either Khalil Mack or Joey Bosa? Like if he's the next guy next year, who is he more like?
No, I don't think he's a true edge in the NFL. I think he's more of your Morgan Fox, more of your I forget the guy the Rams had this past season, Brenched, I want to say. So I think he's a guy who can play on the edge and play on the interior. I don't think he is your replacement for Khalil Mack or Joey Bosa.
Okay. All right.
He weighed at 265 at the combine.
Mm-hmm.
So I think probably looking at him bulking up and playing more inside. I think that's probably where he's best at. I know a good amount of people had him as like true interior defensive lineman, and that's how they graded him. I think what he does best right now is on the edge, but I think you can kind of project him a little bit more on the inside too.
Yeah. Well, so far Chargers at least doing what we sort of considered, right? We said wide receiver, tight end, and edge in the first 3 rounds. You have to hit those. Obviously, they did wide receiver first, then obviously quote unquote edge for now. So I guess the 3rd round pick might be tight end. That's what we've been hearing all off season, and so far they've done that. It's amazing how that works.
Yeah. Again, a lot of pass rush productivity, lots of run stop potential here. You pointed out average depth of tackle, one of the best in the class as well. So
cool.
Again, I think this is the type that they were looking for. Somebody who can do a little bit of both, be your potential Morgan Fox replacement.
Cool. Well, if you sign off, I'm happy.
Todd Davis said that the eval from ESPN on Tuipulotu is a versatile defender who excels. I just lost it now. Shoot. I'll put it on the board. Who excels at splitting blockers and making plays in the backfield regardless of where he lands up. I do agree with that. I do think he's more of a gap shooter than like a take take blocks head on kind of player. So maybe again, kind of some similarities between him and Morgan Fox there. So, you know, I think with the way that the board was playing, you probably had to address defensive line at some point.
Yeah.
In the first on day 2.
Yeah, and I'm happy they did. You know, again, it sucks I didn't watch him, but I'm so happy. Like pass rushers, wide receivers. I mean, this is kind of what we wanted, so I'm really happy that they're addressing that.